On this season of Destination Earth, Akane and I head back to our home country of Japan to explore the southern reaches of the island. Join us as we make our way across Nagasaki Prefecture, as we learn about its atomic past, discover its incredible countryside, and hike some of Japan's most scenic trails. Where are we off to today? Let's find out. So today we are continuing our adventure in Saikai National Park, and we're in the town called Hirado. So behind me is a building that I have been looking forward to going to for a long time. So that is a Japanese castle, and it's been one of those things that I've wanted to cross off my list ever since I was a little kid. So I used to play this video game called Age of Empires, and for those who know what it is, it's just a battle game. But one of the civilizations that you could play was Japan, and one of the main buildings within this game were the castles, and they might be fortresses. And being able to see one in person and very soon be able to go one in person, that's gonna just like achieve this childhood dream. So I'm really excited to get going. We're gonna be walking from here in town over there, so hopefully with some really good views on the way. But I think we know what's gonna take the cake. There are fewer things in life that make life worth living than checking off childhood dreams. Going to see a castle, any castle really, is one of those for me. For those living in Europe, access to true and bona fide castles is something within reach. For all of us who grew up in the Western world, they are nothing more than myth and fairy tales. As we made our way around the shores of this small community, the feeling of fulfilling this dream continued to crest the trees as we got closer and closer. Hirado itself is an old city. If you recall, during our time at Dejima, back in Nagasaki City, we learned that it was here in Hirado that the majority of trade occurred, before trading with Europe was shifted and controlled to that small man-made island. The history and age of the city presented itself with old stone bridges and beautiful old homes. So somebody went to take a picture, put her camera in between these, and had a slightly difficult time getting it back out. Inside this area was an old anchor, one that had existed in this place for hundreds of years. Like most fortresses and castles, Hirado Castle was perched on the top of the hill, overlooking the city. As we climbed closer, glimpses of the prospective views came into sight. We were welcomed by stairs after stairs after stairs. Like climbing a mountain, you may feel as though you are getting false peak after false peak, thinking you finally made it to the castle itself. It's not until you round the corner and see the castle in its full-on glory that you get a sigh of relief and marvel in the sheer beauty of the structure. And there we were. We had made it up all those stairs, and right in front of us, staring us in the face, was this beautiful white castle. The architecture, especially in the roofing, was absolutely incredible. The Japanese style is unlike anything else, and it's incredible, especially when you get to see it in person. And once we finally got there, I couldn't want to do anything more than just walk through those front doors and see what was inside. So we walk in, and the castle itself was completely different than what I was expecting. It was a museum, and the way that it was put together was really, really good. You start out by watching the video, and I'm actually going to be showing you that video here coming up. And it was just a really, really great way to experience the castle, because you don't need to understand Japanese in order to appreciate the artwork. Kind of gives you a little bit of that visual history that you need in order to understand the area and the castle itself, and it was just magnificently done. Once you're going through the rest of it, it is more like a traditional museum where there's displays, and one in particular caught my attention, and I absolutely loved it. It was a complete and total samurai suit. And if you're anything like me, when you think of Japan, Samurai is probably at the top of the list of the coolest, most badass things about the country. So the fact that I'm able to see an authentic suit there and get up nice and close and examine it and just look at the beauty and the craftsmanship, super, super cool. As you work your way up the castle, you'll have the chance to explore different exhibitions, including this one, and an interactive game where you can answer questions about the history of the castle in the region. Okay, so you gotta grab your sword here. Okay. So either the red or the white to start. Hit it. There you go. Akane and I both decided to make it a little interesting and have a contest. I thought she would win and have the total advantage because none of the information in the museum was English, and I could only base my answers on what I had learned in the past. Who do you think won? Well, as it turned out, Akane thought she was supposed to hit the correct answer, not chop away the wrong ones.
Just one.
One correct answer. Do you think I can beat you? So, in fact, she actually got them all right, except one. Now, I can't say that I misunderstood what to do, as I pointed it out right from the beginning. Just write down the wrong answers. No, I was just terrible. One correct answer. I'm no better than her, apparently. The second one was something that I could do quite well. All I needed to do was tap into my 4-year-old self and start tracing. Unlike Western words, Japanese characters often describe a concept or word rather than spelling it out. Even being able to trace the words and then seeing the animation helped me feel a little bit closer to the culture. Finishing up our time at the castle, we headed up to the top to see the views. And well, there were many.
What's left of last night behind, and I need to get some peace of mind. And when I need some peace of mind, I know where to find it. Is by the end of the road. So I walk and I keep on walking. I wear are a mess. As I walk, and I keep on walking till I'm at the end of the road. I walk until my feet are hurting, and I need to keep on going further, 'cause I can't keep my mind off things I'd be better off to leave behind. Gotta be careful not to get stuck. And so I walk and I keep on walking. I wear are a mess. As I walk, and I keep on walking till I'm at the end.
Anytime. I think anybody wants to know.
Of what?
Have you ever been in Japanese castles before?
Yes, I have. I went to castle called Tsurugajo in Aichi, Fukushima when I was middle high. It was a school trip. I loved the castle from outside. It was so beautiful, but when once into the castle, it was just I was a middle high student. Okay, it was so boring. I didn't enjoy at all, and I was kind of worried about this castle as well. But when I entered inside, wow, they did really well. They represent what happened in this area by a kind of animation style. And even you don't understand Japanese, I think people know what's going on and what happened. They did really well, and then it's pretty small castle, but I love the detail and the view is really beautiful. And I think this is one of my favorite castle, I would say.
So she made a really good point, and that's if you don't speak Japanese. Unfortunately, there's not a lot of information here in English. Everything written on the walls is all Japanese, but luckily they do have a lot of the animations, like she said, which help tell the story of what happened here, give you some dates, and it gives you kind of a brief history into what's going on. That said, it's something that I'm going to have to look into after the fact, because the details, unfortunately, are still lost on me.